He liked my style. And I love him because the way he do meets with me, the way he instruct the strategy like that.
In the world of boxing, rivalries often steal the spotlight. But every once in a while, a fighter comes along who transcends rivalry. A man whose heart, humility, and heroism win respect from even his fiercest opponents. That man is Manny Pacquiao. Born into poverty in the Philippines and rising to become an 8-division world champion, Pacquiao didn't just conquer the ring, he conquered hearts. Even the toughest fighters in the world couldn't help but admire him.
I won the fight. It's a close fight. My opponent very tough. I'm trying to find a way to finish the fight.
Today, we look at 10 boxers who truly liked and respected Manny Pacquiao. Not just for his fists, but for his character, sportsmanship, and humanity. 1. Oscar de la Hoya. Oscar de la Hoya and Manny Pacquiao shared one of the most iconic fights in boxing history. When they faced off in 2008, many thought Pacquiao was too small and too inexperienced to handle de la Hoya's size and power. But what happened that night was shocking. Pacquiao's speed and skill completely dismantled de la Hoya. Despite the painful defeat, de la Hoya walked away with respect and admiration. He often called Pacquiao a phenomenon and a once-in-a-lifetime fighter. Even years later, Oscar praised Pacquiao's discipline, kindness, and what he called the soul of a warrior. Behind the cameras, de la Hoya would often tell reporters that fighting Pacquiao was an honor, that he had never faced someone who fought with such purpose, not for fame, but for pride and country. 2. Ricky Hatton. When Manny Pacquiao faced Ricky Hatton in 2009, the boxing world expected an all-out war. Hatton, known for his brawling style and relentless aggression, thought he could overpower Pacquiao. Instead, he found himself on the canvas, knocked out cold in one of the most brutal second-round finishes in boxing history. Yet after the fight, Ricky Hatton didn't show bitterness, only admiration. He often told interviewers that Pacquiao was the best I ever fought. Hatton admired Manny's humility, saying that Pacquiao didn't taunt, didn't boast, and always showed class. Years later, Hatton called Pacquiao a true gentleman of the sport and said he considered him a friend, proof that respect can survive even the hardest punches. 3. Juan Manuel Márquez. Their rivalry spanned 4 legendary fights, a saga of skill, endurance, and willpower. Though Marquez famously knocked Pacquiao out in their final fight, his respect for the Filipino icon never wavered. In countless interviews, Marquez described Pacquiao as a true warrior and admitted that fighting him pushed him to his limits as a boxer. He credited Pacquiao for making him a better fighter and said that their fights represented the best of boxing. Behind the scenes, Marquez admired Pacquiao's work ethic and humility. He once said, "Manny never disrespected anyone. He fought for his people, not his ego." Their battles were fierce, but mutual respect made their rivalry time for. Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto was one of the most respected fighters of his generation, disciplined, focused, and proud. When he faced Manny Pacquiao in 2009, fans knew it would be a war. And it was, until Pacquiao's relentless speed and combinations overwhelmed Cotto. Even after losing, Cotto spoke glowingly of Pacquiao. He said Manny was a complete fighter and a true professional. Cotto admired Pacquiao's ability to move up weight classes without losing power or speed, calling it something never seen before. The two later shared friendly moments outside the ring. Cotto even expressed joy when Pacquiao entered politics, saying he fights for people in the ring and outside of it. That's what makes him special. 5. Shane Mosley. When Shane Mosley fought Manny Pacquiao in 2011, he was already a veteran of the sport. He knew what greatness looked like, and he saw it up close that night. Though Mosley lost, he said afterward that Pacquiao's power shocked him. "He's faster, stronger, and smarter than I expected," Mosley admitted. What stood out most to Mosley was Pacquiao's respect and humility. After the fight, Manny went to Mosley's locker room to check on him, something that deeply touched the former champion. Later, Mosley called Pacquiao a real champion inside and outside the ring, praising his charity work and kindness to fans. 6. Timothy Bradley. Few rivalries were as controversial as Pacquiao versus Bradley. In their first fight, Bradley won a highly disputed decision that many fans considered a robbery. But despite the drama, Bradley's respect for Pacquiao only grew. He admitted that Pacquiao's kindness off-camera was unlike anything he'd seen in boxing. "He's just a good dude, man," Bradley said. "After I beat him, he congratulated me and smiled. No ego. That's rare." When they fought again, Pacquiao proved his dominance, yet Bradley continued to praise him. After retiring, Bradley said Pacquiao was the greatest he'd ever shared the ring with, not just for skill, but for spirit. 7. Floyd Mayweather Jr. Yes, even Floyd Mayweather. Their 2015 fight was billed as the fight of the century, and while the build-up was filled with tension, Mayweather has repeatedly shown admiration for Pacquiao since then. He called Manny a hell of a fighter and admitted that Pacquiao's speed and timing made him think more than any other opponent. Behind the scenes, Mayweather and Pacquiao shared private conversations where Floyd expressed respect for how Manny carried himself, always smiling, always humble. Years after the fight, Mayweather even said he'd consider training Pacquiao if he ever made a comeback. Their mutual respect proved that even the fiercest rivals can share admiration when the gloves are off. 8. Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. grew up idolizing Manny Pacquiao. Before they were ever scheduled to fight, Spence called Pacquiao the gold standard of boxing. He admired how Pacquiao balanced aggression and grace, saying, "He's one of the reasons I box." Though their planned 2021 fight never happened due to Spence's injury, he publicly wished Pacquiao the best and later said, "Manny's a legend. We all respect him." Spence's respect wasn't just professional, it was personal. He saw Pacquiao as proof that hard work and humility can take you anywhere. 9. Keith Thurman. When Pacquiao faced Keith Thurman in 2019, many thought Manny was too old to compete with a prime champion. But Pacquiao shocked the world again, dropping Thurman early and winning a thrilling decision. Instead of bitterness, Thurman responded with admiration. "He's a living legend," Thurman said afterward. "He's 40, but he moves like he's 25. He often praises Pacquiao's conditioning, calling him a machine powered by faith." Even after losing his title, Thurman said, "If I had to lose to anyone, I'm glad it was him." 10. Nonito Donaire. Nonito Donaire, another Filipino boxing legend, has always spoken highly of Manny Pacquiao. Donaire often said that Pacquiao paved the way for Filipino fighters, giving them pride and inspiration. He recalled meeting Manny early in his career and being struck by his humility. "He never acted like a superstar," Donaire said. "He was just Manny, kind, funny, and full of light." The two shared a brotherly bond, often supporting each other publicly. Donaire said, "Without Pacquiao, there might not be a Donaire. He showed us Filipinos that nothing is impossible. Manny Pacquiao's greatness can't be measured in belts or records alone. His true legacy lies in the respect he earned from champions, rivals, and legends across generations. He fought with fury, but lived with faith. He hurt opponents, but healed hearts. And even those who faced him in brutal battles walked away with something stronger than pain: admiration. In a sport built on punches and pride, Manny Pacquiao stood for purpose and humility. He didn't just win fights, he won people. And that's why, decades from now, when fans talk about the greats, they won't just mention Pacquiao the boxer. They'll remember Pacquiao the man, the fighter who earned love in a world of hate.